Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we're going to be discussing the 1922, yes, 1922, film Nosferatu, starring Max Schreck, as, the vampire in the film. And yes, this is the 100th anniversary of Nosferatu, which was just celebrated just a few days ago, because on Friday, I think it was like March 4th, 1922, Nosferatu came out and was released. It was one of the first and the first vampire films. I mean, there was one or two other horror movies that came out before this, because The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari was really the first horror film that actually came out. And Nosferatu didn't come out not too much, after that, in the height of the silent film era. And so this is a silent film. And it's been remastered, and you have a piano track throughout the whole film. And if you're not used to watching silent films, I know I'm not, it will throw you off, because all you see like title cards that flash on the screen with various parts of dialogue. And it's more expressions and body language, and in these films, and looking at the cameras and that type of thing. And it will throw you off. But Nosferatu is really the first really successful vampire movie. And the reason why a lot of people don't know is that even though what will throw a lot of people off is that this movie was actually supposed to be called Dracula. It's supposed to be based on the book Dracula by Bram Stoker. But unfortunately, the problem is Bram Stoker had passed away, and the producers of the movie were trying to get the rights to the novel, and Bram Stoker's widow wouldn't give them the rights to it. But unfortunately, they already called this movie the character of the vampire several times in the movie, including not only in the credits, but in the title cards, so the flash on the screen, they call him Dracula, or they call the vampire Dracula, and so that will throw a lot of people off, because they did use the name in the edit. I guess the guy didn't get caught from anybody, I guess, but the vampire was called Dracula. Not only was the vampire called Dracula, but some of the other not all the characters' names, but some of them were used in the movie, like Renfield, who was played brilliantly in the 1931 Dracula film by I forgot. And I know I'm going to think of the guy's name after I do this video, but he did a great job in a lot of the Universal Monster films. But they used Renfield, they used the girl, Nina. They used her name in this film, and of course they used Dracula, and they used him in the title card sequences, but never actually, none of the characters referenced him as Dracula. Just in the title cards was used in the film, because like I said, it is a silent film, and they had to use title cards to describe what's going on, or to use flash the title cards on the screen when two characters are talking to each other. They have to use that on the screen to know what they're talking about. That's the technique they use in the silent films. And of course, they use this cheesy music in the film. But of course, when I watched it, I just watched it for the very first time just last night, or the night before I'm recording this video, I should say. And I thought I was actually quite bored by this. I figured I further thought, how long is this movie? I mean, it's not very long. It's about maybe an hour, 35 minutes or so. But it feels a lot longer, because it's. I thought it was to me, I thought it was boring. There's a couple of iconic scenes in this film, like every time when Max Schreck, they call him what he is. I'm not going to call him Nosferatu. They're calling him Dracula, because that's what he is. The character's name is. Every time he raises from the grave, or he stares at the camera, that stuff is creepy. I mean, as creepy as Bela Lugosi was in 1931 Dracula, or 1931's Dracula, Max Schreck was just as creepy as Lugosi without the accent. Or I don't know if he ever spoke with an accent, but you're not going to tell in the side of the film if he had an accent or not. But anyway, the way he stares into the camera, and that's what worked in horror films. Even during the silent film era, that's what worked. If the character stares at the cameras, even in the early South horror films, like Dracula and the Mummy and Frankenstein, when they would stare at the camera, it was like almost hypnotizing you, and that's what Max Schreck did. I mean, the way his makeup was, and the way the pointed ears and the fangs and stuff. I mean, there was legitimately creepy stuff going on there, and I actually like that, like to see that. But beyond that, there's maybe 2 or 3 iconic scenes from this movie that's been hyped, apparently in other vampire films. There's one particular scene where Nosferatu, and all you see is a shadow going up the stairs with his long hand and the fang going up the stairs. That was kind of creepy. And there's another scene where he's in the doorway, he's like rising, he's not even walking, or transform into a bat, because actually they had those types of special effects in 1922. So with him, in the doorway, in the frame of the door. That was creepy. I mean, those 2 scenes alone is what makes the movie and what creeped people out in 1922. But other than that, this movie was. I actually felt, even though it's like, an iconic movie, and it is an iconic movie, I'm not going to disparage the movie any further than I have, because I felt it was too similar to, I mean, it is Dracula, and it did make the movie based on Bram Stoker's novel. I mean, they did, and I thought it was good, but not this old time classic movie. I mean, I do have respect for James Wolfe, who does the videos on Cinemassacre. He did, I think for 10 years, he did, I think from 2008 or 2009 to 2019, he did, the Monster Madness every October. He does a great job with that. I like what he does. I watch his videos. I watch a lot of his videos. Here on YouTube, and all of his Monster Madness videos all on YouTube, and I enjoy him. He's really enthusiastic with his horror films, and I felt that he kind of overhyped this movie a little bit. All due respect to James Wolfe, I have respect for the guy. He's a fellow reviewer like I am, but I think he kind of overhyped that movie a little bit. Because like I said, I just watched this movie the night before doing this video, and I thought it was boring. I actually thought it was boring, but other than those couple of scenes I mentioned, was the iconic scenes with him climbing up the stairs and looking at the cameras, he's in the door frame. Those were great, but other than that, I thought it was, after seeing the original, the 1931 Dracula, Bela Lugosi, if you see Bela Lugosi as Dracula first, then you see this movie, you might not like this movie as much, but I feel that you should watch Nosferatu first, because that was the first Dracula movie, and then watch the one with Bela Lugosi, and you can see for yourself which one is better. But if you see Dracula first, like I did, and then see Nosferatu, you might have the same opinion I have. But Nosferatu is a classic. It is a film of its time. It helped develop the horror genre, which it did, and a lot of horror movies after that, especially the Universal films, have copied the same things or same techniques that this film. It kept up kept with the staring into the camera thing and the lights, especially if it's movies in black and white. You can help hype the tension with the shadows and and the mood. I mean, this movie, and Nosferatu does have a really trippy mood to it. And if you haven't had a chance to see this movie, who knows? Maybe because it is the 100th anniversary of this film, maybe it gets re-released on DVD or Blu-ray. I hope it does. And check it out. I don't know if it's a public domain on YouTube, but check out the movie. It's worth watching, especially if you like early horror films, especially those in the silent film era. The other two movies I'd like to see is maybe in the silent film genre, or era, I should say, the silent film era, with maybe Phantom of the Opera and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, both played by Lon Chaney Sr. And those were the only two movies that helped the horror genre out. And of course, it got into more mainstream in the 1930s with the help of Universal Studios. There are a lot for the horror movie genre. So that's my review of the movie Nosferatu. Please click on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. That's all WDY. C.com is the homepage and reviewer Christy Moore. And please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.